Hello, welcome to Warren Moor Mine. It's an old abandoned mine on the North Yorkshire Moors. Been here before, but decided to come back on a clear night, see what I can get. I have had some nice images of the Milky Way from here. I've had star tours from here, done time lapses here, so yes, it's just a case of seeing what's going to be available tonight. Unfortunately, we do have a full moon, or an even enough full moon. It was the buck moon last night, but there's still a few stars about, so hopefully we'll be able to get some decent images still, but we'll have to see. So it's a very bright moon. Might have to change what I'm doing. It might be moonlit landscapes. I know there's a lone tree around here that I did quite like, but yeah, this is the Yorkshire Moors. So this is the lone tree I was talking about, middle of a field, on the way down to the mine. The mine is just over there. You can just make out the top of the chimney, what used to be there. But that moon might be causing me a few problems, I think. I'm not sure, so as well as trying to get stars tonight, I'm also probably going to be looking out to get some meteors. 2 meteors peaking at the moment, and the Perseids is just beginning. There could be upwards of 30 meteors an hour at the moment, although I think that moon there is probably going to do for me. I'm not going to be able to get any because of that, but we'll try our best, see what we can do. Okay, so I've not quite got down to the mine yet, but I've decided to try and take a shot that I haven't done before. At the moment it's got a clear view of the mine chimney, with Cassiopeia directly above it. So that would usually mean that there's a bit of Milky Way, because directly up above me there is Cygnus. So the Milky Way should be coming over the top of my head there, but you can't see anything. So anyway, I've set up a shot, gone with my usual kind of settings to start with, of 13 seconds, f2.8, ISO 800 on this lens that I've got on, which is a Sigma 14 to 24 f2.8. So I'm going to try that and see what that comes back with. I've got a feeling that with this bright moonlight I'm not going to be able to get much of the stars, although I can see them with the naked eye. I'm not sure how much is going to be picked up by the camera. I mean, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So that's kind of the composition I'm going for. You can see the chimney there, directly above that is Cassiopeia, but yeah, whether anything will turn out from this, I don't know. Yeah, so looking at the back of the camera on that one, the ISO 800, that is a bit too bright. I think what I'm going to try and do, knock it down to ISO 400, try the same shot again, and see what I get there, so that I can actually see stars, and then we'll take it from there and decide which one's better. Whichever one's better, I'll take 10 shots, so that I can stack them and see what we get when I stack them. So while those 10 shots are off and doing, trying to decide what to do next. I could probably get some decent shots of the chimney, but I don't think I'd get anything in the way of stars with it. But I wouldn't have to light paint it because the moon is doing a job of that. Every shot seems to take, even down at ISO 400, looking like daylight. So it's a bit of a tricky one, so I have to try and use it to my advantage, and I think we're going to have to use it to light paint stuff and not worry too much about the background. But yeah, tricky conditions for nighttime photography. So it's so bright at the moment, don't really even need my head torch to find my way around. If I fall flat on my face now, I'm going to look like an idiot. Make my way across. And then get to the mine itself. So, I'm now in the ruins of the mine. See behind me, great big chimney. And also some other ruins around which you can't really see in the dark. For example, we've got this big mine shaft. That. And there's other brickworks around, but you can't really see because everything's a little bit overgrown at the moment. So I'm not sure what's being picked up in the way of stars at all here, but I'm trying to get, oh, you got Big Dipper there, got the North Star up there directly above the chimney. So I'm wondering what it's going to be like trying to get maybe a star circle, but as it stands, every shot I'm taking, it looks like daylight and the sky is just light blue. I'm worried that if I go any further lower in the ISO, then I'm not going to be able to see any of the stars. There's not going to be enough to pick the light up. Right, so I'm going to try and set the shot up now to get the star circle, if any of them show up, and see if that works. Then once I've got that set up, I'll set my other camera up and we'll see if we can do some other images, maybe just images of the actual brickworks and the chimney, and see whether we can get some good shots of those. Because I say, there's no need for light painting tonight, that's all being done naturally for me. hope you could see that. That's the composition I'm getting, but I'm not sure whether this is going to work out or not, but if it does, yeah, could be quite nice. But I have a feeling that there isn't going to be enough light in the stars to be picked out, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure what is going on over there, but there's just been almighty racket, mixture of birds. One was definitely an owl, and what appeared to be a sheep, just making the most horrendous noises. But typically, just as I started videoing it, it's gone quiet. So I'm going to leave my time lapse going and have a wander this way and see what I can get. I'm hopefully not emitting too much light from this. But I am going to have to be careful because there are a lot of holes around here. I'm not sure if you can see any of that. I'll put a torch on so you can see. Brickworks, and then some more over there, another shaft over there, and there's some more further over in that direction as well. So this is the main set of brickworks, and some quite deep holes which you don't want to be going down. So according to photo pills, the Milky Way should be in that direction, right next to the moon. So it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to get some shots like I've had from here before. It may be that I'll have to come back on a day when there isn't quite as much in the way of a moon. So I've set up a shot which is basically the chimney and that big earthwork that I was showing you earlier, and it's looking out towards the kind of northwest, I suppose. So I'll turn around and show you the kind of thing it's going to be. So it's basically that kind of shot. It doesn't go quite as far as the as Polaris up there, but it should get the ploughing and along with the chimney, and we'll see what that looks like. Although it's so bright here, it could well easily just look like daytime again. So I'm trying the same shot again, but I've dropped it from my usual ISO 1600 down to ISO 800, just to see whether that works any better, and it did seem to work better on that one. Hopefully you can see that. It looks a bit more blown out on the back of the camera than it actually is, but yeah, that looks like a better shot, although I'm not 100% convinced with the composition of it. Might have to have a play around with this one. So I'm not having much luck tonight. The composition looked okay in the back of the camera in night mode when I was looking at it. Didn't really think an awful lot of it on the back of the camera once I'd actually taken it. tried adjusting the composition. Maybe I've gone a little bit too wide because I'm on a Sigma 10 to 20 on this one, so I've actually gone down to 10 millimeters, and the chimney is just at a stupid angle, and it just makes it look weird. I've been here, I've got decent images before, but tonight it just seems to be one of those nights, I think. Plus I've got something that's moving directly behind me in all this long grass. I'm sure it's just a rabbit or something, but every time it moves. Maybe go to a portrait rather than a landscape and see if I can get the shot that way. It just won't include the plough or any of the other constellations really. See if anything comes up behind the tower once I've got the composition sorted. So all I've done now is move literally 5 feet, 6 feet away from where I was previously. Gone into a portrait mode rather than landscape, and I'm going to see what that does. So as before, we're looking at 13 seconds f3.5 ISO 800, a 2-second timer. I'll see how this goes. So I'm much happier with that composition. However, even at 13 seconds, some of those stars are starting to streak a little bit, which I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to knock it down to 10 seconds, but I'm going to increase the ISO back up to 1600, just so it picks up enough light to try and get the stars. And if I like that, then I'll take 10 of those for stacking and see whether that's any good. Okay, so yes, 10 seconds at ISO 1600. I'm much happier with how the stars look on that. So I'm going to take 10 of those and then going to stack them and see where we're at. One thing I am going to remember to do today, it's something I always forget to do, and that is to put the lens cap back on and take a couple of dark frames. Help with the noise reduction once it gets into the kind of processing and stacking stage. It should basically tells the software where the noise in the camera is, and it can then remove any of those instances in the actual images and get a bit of a cleaner image. And so, right, so I've got that shot now. Happy with that. We'll see how it goes. So next thing is to go back to that lone tree, I think, or I could try this from here. I don't think I'll get in my time lapse. Even so, it's an angle I haven't really tried it at before, and where the light's coming from over in the direction, it's being lit from the right side. So this shot isn't really going to be about the background, this is going to be more about just the chimney, so I'm not too worried about the stars for this one. So what I'm going to do is take the shot. I'm going to reduce the ISO down to 100. I've increased the exposure to account for that. So I'm going to be probably trying about 45 seconds, f3.5, ISO 100, and see whether I can get the shot that I need. So in the end, 45 seconds wasn't long enough, so I'm going to try it for a minute. When you drop it down to ISO 100, it does reduce the amount of light that's getting in, because it really slows the shot down. It's not as quick, so we'll see how this turns out in a minute. I could probably even go longer if needed, because I say I'm not worried about the stars. The stars will trail, and I'm expecting that, but it's the chimney that's the hero of this shot. Okay, so happy enough with that shot. So I'm going to go out to that long tree to see whether I can get a shot there. Check on the time lapse as I go past, make sure that's still all going. Yeah, that's still all going. So back at the tree, got a shot lined up. It's mainly just to get the side light from the moon on the tree. There's nothing real behind it in terms of stars, although you can see a few up there, but I'm not sure how many of them will actually come out. Yeah, I'm just resigned to the fact now, I think, that I'm not going to get much in the way of stars tonight. That moon is just too bright and overpowering. But it's good for light painting, so I'm going to try and use it for that instead. So this shot I've set up, I've actually gone out to ISO 1600, because the actual tree seems to be a lot darker than the chimney was, but I have dropped it down to a 10 second exposure just to kind of counteract that a little bit. So we'll have a look and see what happens with that. So 10 seconds was actually a bit dark still, so going to go for 13 seconds, and I'm going to take 10 to stack it, so any stars that are behind there, hopefully be able to stack those and pick them up. Let's see what happens. Right, so in terms of the tree and the moon, according to photo pills, that is exactly where the Milky Way is going to be. Wouldn't you know it? Right, so yes, This really is a bit of a write-off of a night. I might get the odd decent shot, but definitely have to come back when there's no nearly full moon. So I'm going to try the shot where the Milky Way should be. Don't think I'll get anything, but if I take 10 shots of stacking, it might pick up something. Not 100% sure what, but it might pick up something. So 2-second timer on. Let's see what it picks up. This is getting quite frustrating. Didn't think the moon was going to be quite this bright, but it is. But it's the first clear night I've had in goodness knows how long. So just back to pick up my time lapse. Still going strong, which is surprising. Expected the battery to have run out by now. But yeah, it's don't know if these are being picked up on this camera, but there are so many stars out that I can see with the naked eye, but I just know they're not going to get picked up because of the moon. But first clear night in goodness knows how long, it'd be about right that we've got a full moon on it. We'll have to see how this comes out and see whether it was worth the however many hours it's been that it's been running. But it's coming up on, well, it's coming up on 1:30 now, so I think it's about time to head off back and see what I got in the way of images. On the walk back up the hill now. Got to go all the way up there. Yeah. I'm gonna get out of breath, so cut to the top. Right, so back at the car now. It has just gone 25 to 2, so I got work in the morning, so I'll see you again soon. Bye.